Tonight on Q2, another burst of winter is here, and that could mean more headaches for morning commuters. Ed will let us know what to expect. Plus, questions surround a recent officer-involved shooting.
They spent so much money on these body cameras. Why aren't they using them? What was it for then?
Billings police have new body cams, but ironically, it's a shooting that was not recorded, drawing debate from some in the community. And a shot at redemption.
I didn't know what success looked like. All I knew is that it looked good from the outside looking in.
We'll get in the holiday spirit with Christmas trees for a cause. The MTN News starts right now.
From Montana's news leader, this is the MTN 10 o'clock news.
Good evening, everyone, and thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Russ Riesinger. Our top story, snow is once again falling in Billings and around much of the Q2 viewing area tonight. This is the scene in Red Lodge where they could see nearly a half foot of snow. Probably not looking like that much here in Billings, but combine that with the unseasonably cold temperatures and travel could be a little tricky in the morning. Let's send it over to Chief Meteorologist Ed McIntosh with more on what we can expect. Ed?
Russ, we already have a lot of travel concerns all across the region, and you're right. We're not going to get very much snow at all here in Billings. We got a half-inch total at this point, but Arrow Creek just outside of town on I-90, heading down towards Hardin, getting some hazardous travel, and we've had some slip-offs there. Livingston doesn't look quite as bad. You get up towards Bozeman Pass, but still some slick conditions out there. You're going to want to use a lot of care. Here's Judith Gap in between Harleton up towards Eddie's Corner, and you can see there's like zero visibility, and for that reason, Eddie's Corner closed. So that stretch between Harleton, Judith Gap, Eddie's Corner, no travel there. And then also just got a report of 212 around Ashland over towards Broadus, also closed this evening.
An update tonight on a story we first told you about a couple of weeks ago. A Carbon County man is now facing serious charges in the shooting deaths of 3 cows. Court documents state that Scott Stem Jr. told law enforcement that he'd been drinking alcohol, smoking marijuana, and popping pills all day when he used an AR-15 to shoot the animals south of Bridger. Stem was arrested and charged with 3 counts of felony criminal mischief, 2 felony counts of cruelty to animals, and 1 misdemeanor charge of cruelty to animals. Stem faces up to 10 years in prison and a $50,000 fine for each of the criminal mischief charges, and up to 2 years and a $2,500 fine on the animal cruelty felony charges. Billings police officers have been wearing new body cams for just over a year now, but a recent coroner's inquest of an officer-involved shooting has brought them back into the spotlight, sparking an emotional debate about how and when they should be used. Our Kelsey Marison explains.
Since August of 2021, the Billings Police Department has a new policy where body cams must be turned on during any civilian contact. And I'm here to bring you an update on how that's going. It's a sound that sends shivers down spines. Shots fired during high-stress situations involving law enforcement. A jury verdict ruled Monday that Officer Brett Hildy was justified in shooting and killing Raymond Dupree Jr. back in February. Numerous people had spotted Dupree walking through the neighborhood with a gun. Police then shot Dupree just seconds after arriving on scene, a shooting that was not recorded on the officer's body cam.
There was still other footage from other officers, and there was other, there was radio logs.
It hurts all over again. It's knowing the pain that this family's going through. It sucks. It hurts. It makes me relive my brothers over a lot again. For Tashina Duran, the shooting hit home. The Duran family is related to the Dupree family, and Tashina's brother, Cole Stump, was also killed in Billings in an officer-involved shooting in October of 2020, after police say he wrestled them to the ground and reached for a gun. My brother was killed in a police-involved shooting, and the officers didn't have body cams at that time. A jury found the officer's actions justified, but Duran remains unconvinced. It's easy to say one thing, but without proof, it's like I have a hard time believing Billings PD. Billings police have since implemented a body camera policy, which states the cameras must always be turned on when interacting with civilians.
There's stuff that needs to be recorded during any interaction, not just when you're dealing with a suspect.
But that doesn't always happen.
You don't have time to say, hey, stop, hold on a minute, let me push my little button. Doesn't happen like that. you have a split second to decide whether you're going to go home to your family that night.
Julie Hovland is one of the many Montanans who understand where police are coming from. She attended the department's Citizens Academy, which she says gave her a whole new perspective.
It really does provide a benefit to the department and to the court system.
Even though some, like Tashina Duran, remain critical.
They spent so much money on these body cameras. Why aren't they using them? What was it for then?
In Billings, Kelsey Marison, MTN News.
Today, the newly elected members of the 68th Montana legislature gathered at the state capitol to elect the lawmakers who will lead them into the upcoming legislative session. Republicans chose Senator Jason Ellsworth of Hamilton as the Senate president, while Representative Matt Regier of Kalispell will serve as the Speaker of the House. Democrats elected Senator Pat Flowers of Bozeman and Representative Kim Abbott of Helena as their minority leaders. The session will be getting underway on January 2nd. On the national front, it is now official that Republicans have taken back control of the House as Democrats remain in charge of the Senate. Republican Senator Mitch McConnell will continue to serve as minority leader after beating back a challenge from Florida's Rick Scott. Representative Kevin McCarthy is still trying to shore up support in his bid for Speaker. All of this comes on the heels of former President Donald Trump announcing his third run for the White House yesterday. Also today, lawmakers in the Senate advanced a bill to make marriage equality a federal law moving forward. A final vote on that bill expected tomorrow. The 121st Brawl of the Wild is almost upon us, but finding an affordable ticket for the big game, well, that's almost impossible. As demand has skyrocketed with College Game Day's announcement, so have ticket prices. Our Charlie Kleps looks into what it will cost you if you're still hoping to go.
Tickets to the Grizz Cat game are always super expensive, but this year it'll cost even more with College Game Day coming to town. On resale sites like StubHub, some seats are going for more than $1,000. Nothing quite beats seeing the Brawl of the Wild, the Super Bowl of all sporting events in the state of Montana.
It's a bucket list. Over the years, both Montana teams have been superior.
Chad Bykonen has lived in the Treasure State his entire life, but he's never had the chance to attend the big game, and that'll all change this weekend.
After the announcement of Game Day coming, it became a huge commodity in this state.
Bykonen bought his tickets before Game Day announced they were coming to Bozeman, and he's thankful he did. As of Wednesday afternoon, tickets were still available on the secondary market, but the cheapest one we could find was for $225, and that was for standing room only. The cheapest ticket for an actual seat will cost you $261. The most expensive ticket, a whopping $1,350 on StubHub.
I'm still getting messages today. Did you sell those tickets? Did you sell those tickets? And yes, my tickets are sold.
Dawn Acton is among the many hoping to make some cash by selling her tickets to Saturday's game. She's a Bobcat season ticket holder, and she sells her tickets to the Brawl of the Wild each year, basically paying for her season tickets for the following year.
Our goal was just to sell our tickets to make the season, so we did that. Once Game Day came, then it was a whole different story.
Unfortunately, she sold them this year before the Game Day announcement.
We could have probably made more money off of our tickets.
Seller's remorse, and she's not alone. Chad Bykonen was contacted by the person who sold him his tickets shortly after it was announced that the Game Day crew was coming to Montana.
Ended up getting a little message back that they wanted to buy him back.
It's a big game with big stakes both on the field and online, with tickets in high demand.
And that's always a good game between the two of them, whether they're doing well or not.
In Billings, Charlie Kleps, MTN News.
Positively Montana is sponsored by Yellowstone Valley Electric Cooperative.
Adult and Teen Challenge started in the Heights in November of 2020. It helps men overcome drug addictions. And in those 2 years, it's had quite a few successes. We had a chance to talk with some men who have made it through the program.
All my life I've struggled with addiction, methamphetamine, and alcohol. I have 5 children of my own. I just wanted to have a better life. I was just running from the law, running from myself, just not living a good life.
Jason Santiago had a drug problem while growing up in Laurel. He has been working to overcome his addiction for the last 10 months in the Billings Adult and Teen Challenge program.
I've never had a personal relationship with Christ, and I've never had this many loving people around me and just nurturing me to become a better person, a better father.
Others in the program have experienced similar challenges and successes. Adult Teen and Challenge is run on private donations and does not turn away people who can't pay or don't have insurance. Christopher Greer is the outreach coordinator for the Billings Adult and Teen Challenge. He started receiving help shortly before the home ran its first Christmas tree lot, and he has made it successfully through the program.
It's not a fight, it's not a struggle. Sobriety is easy. The struggle is gone, and I owe all that to God and the Teen Challenge.
Others at the home have also gone through rehabilitation. Pastor Randall Wilbur is the executive director of the Billings home, which he started.
I knew that there were men in Montana that if they had access to what I had access to, they could change, just like I did.
Give the next person a hand up as well and show them how we made it.
In Billings, David J., MTN News.
Well, still to come on the MTN 10 o'clock news here on Q2, that Thanksgiving turkey may be harder than ever to come by, and that has some Montanans getting creative to fill the table. And in sports, history in the making, Broadview Levina chasing their first state championship, not only on the gridiron, but in any sport. We'll hear from the Pirates coming up.
The MTN 10 o'clock news continues right after this.